Hi, hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for your presence here today. Today, my topic is thought, the key element of construction in our world. This video is for someone who is interested of awakening, or maybe you have started the path of awakening. We can start from a metaphor. Now, I think most of you are sitting in a room. Imagine in your room there's 5 windows. So what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell, and what you touch. 5 windows. Now you're sitting in a room of mind, and thought is a major element in the mind. So in this room of mind, there is another element, memory, perception, intention, attention, and so on. Generally, idea is how you understand the world. Now we have 5 windows. From these 5 windows, you can see everything, hear everything, touch everything. It's like 5 windows of broadcasting, where the information is broadcasted to you or constantly. You may ignore this. For example, when we go to deep sleep without any dream, all the windows shut down. But for somebody, they may have a dream. That means this dream, this very dream, implies that the thought is independent from 5 windows or 5 sensory organs. I repeat again. Our thought can function without 5 sensory organs. That's why people have a vivid dream that they remember what they do, what they say in a dream, or to which people. Because in the house of mind, we have memory, we have perceptions, intentions, attentions, still in the room. And in a sleep with dream, the memory is working. So in this metaphor, you may have a better understanding of thought, memory, perceptions, and 5 windows we call 5 sensory organs. For example, now you'll use the window of hearing, of seeing. And these 2 windows, or the sensory organs, what our eyes or our ears, are more, how to say, prominent comparing to other 3, which is what we taste, smell, and touch. What we see and hear, I mean, what we can listen, is like a far range or middle range of your senses. You can see a mountain 1 kilometer away from you. You can hear somebody talking 10 meters from you, but you can only smell some fragrance 1 meter. I mean, it's a smaller range, and touch something very close to you, and taste for sure. It's only in your tongue, in your mouth. Now you may have better picture of the 5 sensory organs and thought. So the 5 windows connecting all the information, data to our mind, and thought as a CEO or boss. The mind will report. How to say? Oh, sorry. The mind will read the information connecting from the 5 sensory organs and draw a conclusion, or may not. If you draw a conclusion, it's a thought. So thought is a description or interpretation of what you see, hear, taste, and touch, and so on. It may have some relation to your memory, which you have experienced before. See, I give a best example I could is, see there's 100 people sitting in Mexico beach, okay, beautiful beach with sun setting, waves, birds chirping, or seagulls flying. And among these 100 people, there was a painter, there's one musician, there's one environmentalist, there's a diver, and there's a businessman, and so on. So they may sing a same scene, the ocean, the beach, the sound, but they may have different interpretation of what they see, hear, and touch and smell. For musician, maybe he or she focus more on the sound, which could be the notes of a music. And for the painter, he may also pay more attention to the colors, the shapes, the tones of the whole environment or surroundings. For environmentalists who like to protect the nature, he will see maybe the garbage on the beach, or his concern is a little bit different. And also, if you have one kid there playing on the beach with the sands or castles, their world is totally different. So in this context, I want to point out that thought is your interpretation or description of what's going on. What's going on now, and what was going on in the past, and what will be going on in the future. Thought is a dynamic interaction and action among all 5 sensory organs, your memory, your perception, and intention, attention. It's a mix of everything. But what's the difference between if you're master of meditation or awakened one? What's the difference between the awakened one or the normal people is? For normal people, this vivid information, data, connection, and thought processing, which is also related to the past experience, memory, her education, perception, intention, and attention is for normal people. The thought will arise instantly to describe what he see and hear and listen. And there's no space between all the phenomena and his or her response or interpretation or description. There's no space between the phenomena and thought. The thought will arise to describe it. But if you master, there's two kinds of thoughts still arise, but he knows it's the description. It may be true or may not be true. The nature of description or interpretation or translation could be true or could not be true. And he can letting go of these thoughts, these descriptions and interpretations. The second type is he or she can perceiving all the phenomena from 5 sensory organs and without one thought, without a single thought. That sounds interesting, right? So the second type of master is what I'm going to say today, actually. In Zen Buddhism, we have a saying that fear not the rise of thought, fear only the lack of awareness. I repeat, fear not the rise of the thought, fear only the lack of awareness. Because if you're master, you'll always be present to not only the 5 sensory organs, but the 6 sensory organs, the thought, your description, to all the phenomena. Imagine you can watch or perceiving all the phenomena without any judgments, what it will be like. You will be very calm because no thoughts arise, no disturbance. You will be very clear because now your capacity of thinking, of processing is preserved. There's a scientists say that the ability of our mind to process is 110 beats per second. 110 beats per second to process the information. Now you don't use it, you just preserve it, purely observing, without any single thought. You must be a clear, calm understanding of what's going on. We can practice 1 minute of be present. Try stop any thought if you could. But again, if your thought arise, do not be afraid of or agitated. Let it go. Zoom out and be present. Be aware as much as you could. 1 minute. Okay, that's 1 minute. If you don't have any single thought arising, or very little, congratulations. Or if you still have some thoughts arising, it's okay, no problem. Again, fear not the arising of thoughts, fear only the lack of awareness. So this kind of understanding or thought watching, you may have a much better understand of who you are, how do you act, what's your intention, what's your attention, what's your memory, and basically, generally speaking, is who you are. How do you describe the world in front of you, and how do you deal with the thoughts, emotions, feelings inside of you? The more you can perceive your thoughts arising or disappearing, the more you can understand the patterns of your thinking, followed by your intention, which leads to attention, which results in your action. What you do every day is a result of intention, attention, and prior to that is the thought. If you can notice a single action like raising up your hand or grasp a cup of tea, behind that action there's a mini thought, a very subtle thought or intention to grab it. In this way, you understanding more and more who you are. And every action contains huge information, not only our mind, but also the nerves, transmission, the muscles working, grasping the cup is not a small thing. It involves a lot of information, data, action, memory, and so on. One single action, grabbing a cup of tea or water, contains huge information and data. It's like you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in to every detail of your life, no matter it's talking, washing your hands, walking in the nature, everything. You can perceive them with a much clearer picture and understanding. Actually, you are more enjoyable in doing things because it's a vivid, it's a dynamic feedbacks, a loop of sending out your signal and a receiving signal. You are alive with everything. It's a very beautiful realization. Okay, as a conclusion, fear not the thought, the rising of thought. Fear only the lack of awareness. Be present, pure observing the dancing of whole cosmos, the data, information, and ultimately the love contained in each form and name. Each form and name contains huge information and love. Every name and form is where the love, the ultimate love, the universal love is expressed, received, and relayed. Wow. Feel the power of that realization, my friend. Thank you. Enjoy your practice. Bye now.